What's up everyone? I'm Pamela, welcome back to the channel. Today let's discuss 7 predictions for Scream 7. Let's get into it.
Certain rules. Push the laws and you end up dead.
This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life.
Not in my movie.
Surprise, Sydney.
He's gone mad.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
A very simple formula.
You want to play psycho killer?
Everybody's a suspect.
No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
I'll be right back.
Okay, I think it's gonna go something like this.
So my first prediction for Scream 7 is that a returning character will be the opening kill. We know that these new movies have so far been mirroring the original 2 movies. 5 and 1 had a lot of similarities and 6 and 2 had a lot of similarities. So I do think it's pretty likely that Scream 7 will have a lot of similarities to Scream 3. And in Scream 3, Cotton Weary was our first ever returning character opening kill. So if that's going to be the case for Scream 7, there are quite a few options who could be the opening kill. One of my first thoughts was Martha Meeks, the twins' mom, who is also, of course, Randy's sister. We first saw her in Scream 3 and then didn't see her again till Scream 5. But the fact that the first time we ever see her is in Scream 3 would be another way for Scream 7 to mirror Scream 3. Martha was in 3, so she might be in 7, but I have a feeling she might get killed off in the opening scene to have that returning character as the kill. Another option for the opening kill could be Danny Brackett from Scream 6. Now, I don't know how likely it is that he will be in Scream 7 at all. Now, knowing that Sam Carpenter is not going to be in the story, they might not include Danny at all. But I do think that they could if they really wanted to. Maybe they could have him be the opening kill and just briefly appear to kind of connect Scream 7 to the past 2 movies. But then obviously if you kill him off in the first 15 minutes, then we can move on completely from that previous storyline. I mean, I loved Danny in Scream 6. I would love to see him again. It would suck if he had to die, but it would be nice to see Josh Segarra again. Before all the terrible news happened with Scream 7, he was very excited to return. He did an interview saying, "Your boy will be back." But that was a long time ago. Not only was that before Melissa was fired, but it was before Scream 7 was even officially announced. So he was just very hopeful and excited to return, but now, I don't know. But he could be the opening kill. Another returning character for the opening kill could possibly be Mark Kincaid, even though I'd rather see him survive the whole movie and interact with Sydney. Another returning character opening kill could be Kirby, although I would like to see her in the full movie. Or they could even choose to kill off Gail as the opening kill, even though I want to see her in the full movie interacting with Sydney. But killing Gail in the opening would make it an epic scene, and it would definitely go down in history as one of the best opening scenes possibly. But this does bring me to my second prediction for Scream 7, where I do think Gail will die. You know, not necessarily the opening kill, but just that she is not going to make it out of Scream 7 alive. I do think it's her time. I expected her to die in Scream 6. She, of course, almost did. You know, she's been in every single Scream movie, more than anyone else in this franchise. And as the movies go on, you need to up the stakes. They did that in Scream 5 with Dewey. I was expecting it in Scream 6. Scream 6 had 0 big deaths, so I think Scream 7 is going to be the time. I think Sydney and Gail will have one final movie together, and I do think Gail is going to die sacrificing herself for Sydney, so that Sydney can continue living for her family. My third prediction for Scream 7 is that I do think that Mark Kincaid and Kirby are going to team up and join forces. We need good characters to fill the role of the cops. We had Dewey for most of the franchise. We had Judy for 2 movies as the cop. and they're both no longer with us. So we need a couple new good characters to fill that role. Obviously, Kirby was an FBI agent in Scream 6, so I liked that they had her as one of the cops. I hope she does return in Scream 7, and she needs someone to kind of work with, and I think Mark Kincaid could be that. She's an FBI agent, he's a detective, they both know Sydney, so just imagine those two teaming up to protect Sydney. I also could see Kirby and Mark teaming up to hunt down the cult of ghost faces, which does bring me to my fourth prediction. I do think that there will be a cult of ghost faces going after Sydney. I think there have been several clues building up to this in Scream 5 and Scream 6, which does bring me to my fifth prediction. I do in fact think that Stu Macher will return. If you're familiar with my channel, then you know that this is 100% what I think is going to happen. Stu Macher coming back, leading a cult of ghost faces, going after Sydney. This was the original plan for Scream 3, so what better time than Scream 7 with Kevin Williamson back directing and Neve Campbell back? What better time for Stu Macher's cult to finally make an appearance? And like I said, I do think that they've been laying the groundwork for this in Scream 5 and Scream 6. And now this does bring me to my sixth prediction. I do think that there are going to be multiple Ghostface attacks nationwide. I do think that there's a good chance this cult is going to be pretty widespread across the country. And I really hope that we learn about different attacks all throughout the country. Like maybe Sydney will be watching the news and see that there are attacks that are not even in her location, somewhere else in different states. I really want to see this cult spread out and not just be in one location. And finally, my seventh prediction for Scream 7, I do think it's going to end on somewhat of a cliffhanger to lead us into Scream 8, which will continue the storyline. It's either going to be someone gets away with it in the end, like Ghostface gets away, or there's just more to the story than we're going to learn in Scream 7. I hope that they can continue this same story in Scream 8, because this isn't really something that we've ever had in this franchise. It's kind of like a new story every movie. Of course, there's characters who return and certain parts of their lives are continuing stories, like Sydney, Gail, Dewey. But I'm talking about Ghostface actually winning for once and not dying, not being taken out by Sydney, not going to jail, but rather getting away. Or, I would be open to Ghostface actually getting arrested, because that's never happened either. And then in Scream 8, we can see them in jail. So like Stu, for example, like I said, I do think he's going to return in Scream 7, but imagine he survives Scream 7 and we get to spend time with him again in Scream 8. I would love that just because I want to see more Matthew Lillard as much as possible. But imagine he actually gets arrested and we get to see him in jail in Scream 8, or go to trial and Sydney has to face him in court. And maybe during the trial, that's when we'll get more background story and explanation on where Stu has been exactly this whole time and what exactly has he been up to. How has he been in hiding this whole time? How has he been recruiting his cult members? That would be absolutely crazy. I would love to see that. But that's it for today. Those are my 7 predictions for Scream 7. Let me know your thoughts down below, leave a comment, and do you have any predictions of your own? Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Please make sure you turn on all notifications so that you don't miss out on any of my future posts, because as we start to get more Scream 7 news, you can expect me to post about it here on this channel, and you won't want to miss it. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys soon.